How to grow on Instagram and get more real followers. You know, Instagram is one of the most powerful platforms right now for building a personal brand and getting attention. And it doesn't matter whether you're a photographer or whether you're an influencer, these tips are really gonna help you. So you're gonna get real organic followers and reach. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake helping you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are completely new here, welcome. My name is Roberto Blake. I'm a creative entrepreneur. I'm a public speaker at events like VidCon and VidSummit, and I have a social media coaching business, Awesome Creator Academy. And today I want to talk about Instagram, because Instagram is probably my favorite platform besides YouTube. I grew up with photography. I have a very strong passion for it. I own so many cameras. It's so expensive, but it's actually really awesome, and you don't need a lot of money to be successful at Instagram. True story. Now I have about 14,000 followers on Instagram, and what a lot of people don't realize is that I pushed to get over 10,000 of that in just like 1 year of real solid effort on Instagram. And I really could be working a lot harder at the platform, but as many of you probably realize, my focus lately has been YouTube. But if you want to build your personal brand on Instagram, then you need to really put time and effort and focus into it. You need quality images and videos. And one of the first tips that I can give you when it comes to those quality images and videos is to have somebody help you with your photography. What I typically do is I find a friend, a family member, or even a stranger. I give them my camera with all the right settings and with the perfect lens, and ultimately I have them take those images of me, and it's produced some of the best shots on my Instagram profile. But that's not the only way for you to build your personal brand and grow in Instagram. When a lot of channels tell you tips about Instagram, something they ignore a lot is Instagram stories and Instagram live. And Instagram stories and Instagram live are one of the most powerful ways for you to build and grow your personal brand on Instagram, because the more that people engage and interact with your Instagram live and your Instagram stories, the more Instagram's algorithm distributes their post in the feed. So you're gonna get more likes and more comments that way. The relationship with your audience is the most important thing, more than being able to take pretty pictures. You need to understand that Instagram is an emotion-driven platform. It's the platform with the strongest emotional connection, I think, out of any other platform. And so I think that if you spend more time replying to people and also commenting on other people's Instagram, what I've experienced is a couple of things. Not only does that build more connection, but it's an algorithmic advantage. And I'm gonna do a whole video where I tell you, 5 core principles of the Instagram algorithm, because in comparing it to the YouTube algorithm, I found some very fascinating connections that I think you guys can appreciate. So you'll want to subscribe if you want to get that video later. You need to use as many aspects of Instagram as you can to your advantage. So doing a photo post in your grid, that actually helps, but slides actually help too, in terms of those slides where you have multiple photos, because it helps with time on page and time on post. This is something that I'll talk about in the algorithm video, exposing the Instagram algorithm, but this is something taken for granted. I think that a lot of people feel that like just getting the perfect photo by itself is enough, but there are so many features in Instagram, and if you actually use them and you use them to your advantage, then you can grow. And it's a great way to trigger engagement. I think I get more comments on slide post and on Instagram videos than anything else. And with Instagram, I would say that comments are a much bigger priority for you than likes. I know that likes are the thing that everyone wants to use to validate themselves. Oh, I don't have enough hearts. But the comments are so powerful because it's people being very intentional on your page. It's creating a connection. And when you reply back, that only gets stronger. So I prefer to do post with comments in mind as my trigger more than likes. And if you go and you actually check me out and you follow me on Instagram, you'll actually see that compared to a lot of much bigger profiles on Instagram, that I get much better engagement in terms of the amount of comments I get in proportion to the amount of likes that I get. And so that makes a really big difference, because I don't think that, as many of you might want to be skeptical about this, I don't think that a lot of people bought their audience. I think that a lot of people don't get the engagement because I don't think they keep the relationship with their audience when they get big. I've seen this in YouTube, I've seen this in Instagram, I've seen this in Twitter. When people reach a certain threshold, they just stop engaging with their audience. Some of it is feeling overwhelmed. Some of it is that because they got big, they got busy. And so I'm not faulting anyone. There's no shade here. I'm just pointing out that if anything, I'm defending these people and saying that not everybody is faking it until they make it. The problem is that some people made it and then they forgot how they got there in the first place. They forgot where they came from, as people like to say. Now, I am planning a video that is all about hashtag strategy, and there's actually a tool that I think could help a couple of you with hashtags. So I'll save that for another video. What I will say about hashtag strategies is that not overdoing it is important, but you also need to think about hashtags as a way to add context to a post and to find an audience for a post. It's not about gaming the system, it's about who would benefit from, or who would like this, who would think this is interesting, fascinating, who would dig it, who would want to engage with this, and then thinking about the hashtags that are most likely to be part of the topics that they're interested in and aligning with that. That's all you're trying to do, is use hashtags to find an audience for your post to be distributed to. That's where I think people get lost when it comes to trying to game the Instagram algorithm. Don't worry about it. Really think about the fan, think about the viewer, think about the person that you want to engage with this. Now, when it comes to building your personal brand in Instagram, I think that the photos you take should be telling a story or creating context on you. I mean, if you're a photographer, it's not just about your photos. I think that, like, one of the things that I think that Peter McKinnon and Maddie and a lot of these other photographers do that's great is they have each other to take photos of themselves in the moment on location and create the context of, you know, them as a photographer. So it's not just about showing their work, it's showing that they're working. And I think that that matters. As an entrepreneur, it's important for me to have photos of me speaking on stages. That's very important. And so the collaboration aspect of Instagram is one of the most powerful things you can do for your personal brand, because collaboration is more than appearing with people in photos. It's awesome when I get to take photos with Gary Vee or Casey Neistat or Peter McKinnon, or my friends like Viper or Swoop, or, you know, anybody in the YouTube community, Sarah Dici. But what is more important than those collaborations and the value you get from a shared audience is when you can collaborate creatively to make something better than you could do by yourself. I think a lot of people use collaborations more as a, hey, I can get likes or views or followers, instead of I can get better work by collaborating with somebody. There's so much great B-roll that I've only been able to get of myself because of friends like Red Romina or Audrey Ember or somebody being willing to, you know, take my camera off my hands and shoot some beautiful slow motion footage for me. Collaborating recently with Metal for Breakfast, he made a motivational video to, you know, the song from Fort Minor, Remember the Name, and I posted that to my Twitter and my Instagram, and there was so much engagement, so much love for the hard work he did capturing me in that video, and it's awesome, it's dope. And so collaboration is a very powerful thing you can use in Instagram, but you have to do it with the right intentions, and that's really gonna get people's attention, and more importantly, you can use it to make better quality work. Some final thoughts on growing an Instagram and building your personal brand. Don't always think that it has to be about perfect aesthetics. Sometimes it's about the message, and it's also about your style. It's about the unique relationship that you're gonna build with your followers and how you are presenting yourself, and whether you can do that with consistency, authority, and authenticity. I think that those things matter more than how good of a shot you're getting. It's about storytelling, and it's about, you know, what is your story and why should it matter to people? These are questions that I think some of you might be afraid to ask, but they are important. And I think that's where I'm gonna end this video, but I'm gonna ask you a question of the day. What is your best tip for growing on Instagram if you are building a following? And if you aren't, and you have questions, what are your questions about Instagram? What would you like us to help you with and answer for you in the comment section on this channel? And I might make future videos of that. So I'm gonna probably take your tips from the community and combine them with my tips in future videos. And I'm also going to try to answer as many of your questions in the comments. And I know this amazing community is gonna do the same. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff in there on the channel. In fact, I have a video you should check out on how to get your first 10,000 followers on Instagram. I think that could help you. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. In fact, I'm gonna go do that right now. Take care.